from that 2-0 defeat. And first up is Muniz dominates.
Yeah, and I think this coupled with obviously Romero going off really swung the game. And I think what really is a telling stat in that game is that Jimenez, when he was on the pitch, and obviously he was on the pitch with Romero and Davis, he only won 2 aerial duels out of 7. And when Muniz comes on, obviously they went long to it a lot, and he won 4 out of 5 aerial duels when he came on, and I think 3 out of 4 ground duels as well. So I think that tells me a lot about kind of how he impacted the game when he came on. Also tells me as well how difficult it was for the centre-backs who were dealing with him to deal with him, and all of a sudden they were making it stick in their final third. All of a sudden they were getting kind of winning kind of duels in our kind of defensive third. They won in the first half of the first hour, and that meant we had were able to keep them away from our goal for large parts of that game. But as soon as he came on and we took Romero off, that completely flipped, and all of a sudden they got their chances and they took them.
Yeah. And obviously the Muniz sub coincided with Romero getting taken off 5 minutes apart. So Muniz gets taken off. 5 minutes later, Romero gets taken off. So they're bringing on a really physical striker, and we're taking off our most physical centre-back and asking Archie Gray and Ben Davis to deal with Muniz, which, obviously we all saw what happened. So it is what it is. Number 2 is positive Tell. I think, and it wasn't like a groundbreaking performance, but I definitely thought there were positive green shoots there from Matisse Tell in this game, and I thought it was a lot better than what he was showing when he was up front. Looked a lot more confident, and I think a few of the stats show that. I think he had created 2 chances, which was pretty good. He had 1 shot on target, which obviously led to one of the chances that was created, and he completed 2 out of 6 dribbles, which isn't a great number, but what it does show you is he's has that confidence to take people on. He has that confidence to run at people, and as he gains that, as that confidence builds, you hope that number starts to shift as well. And instead of it being 2 out of 6, it'll be 3 or 4 out of 6. The more he takes people on, and obviously the one time he did in that first half, he created a really good opportunity, which he should have done better with. But in that little moment, you saw what he's capable of, the quality he has, and I think obviously he's come here having not played a lot for Bayern. He's also come here and played up front and been bullied a lot. So maybe he's lost a bit of confidence, but hopefully this can be a step in the right direction from him winning that confidence back. Yeah, I do think it was a step in the right direction. Hard not to with those performances as the number 9. Obviously he hasn't played a minute in our last 2 games, so he hopefully was chomping at the bit to get on the pitch. He started on the left-hand side where we all wanted to see him. And yeah, it was slightly better. We saw some good moments in there, which we haven't seen since probably his first game or first couple of games at Spurs, where we saw some sort of good stuff in there from him as well. So hopefully, I think we have to keep persisting with Tell, particularly in the Premier League games. And we have to see what he's about. We need to be able to have something to go on to make that decision at the end of the season. And if he can keep improving from here, then I think that'll be good for us and good for him. And if we can keep growing his confidence, so he can keep taking on his men, to keep taking those shots as well. The one he took from like 25 yards, nice bending effort that the keeper was equal to, but it did, force a chance for Spurs. And on another day, we probably would have taken it, and we should have taken it on the day yesterday. But I think with Tell, we all know he's got a lot of talent. We just need him to show it on a consistent basis, and I think playing him will do him the world of good. There's no good him being here on loan and him being on the bench and not getting any minutes every game, because we don't learn anything. Yeah, agreed. Obviously what was interesting about, him talking to the fans and stuff, maybe it's a sign that he does really feel part of a team, and he feels the need to defend what's happening. When he's a lone player, he could easily wash his hands of what's happening right now on the pitch, and he didn't feel the need to do that. So interesting to see how many of the other players are doing, by the way,
which is also true. So yeah, I wonder, you can read into whatever you want in terms of what that means of where his head's at.
It's actually mad that when you're looking at all the players that we have, the Madisons and everyone in the leadership group, Romero, Sonny, even Bentancur, Bissouma, all these kind of players, and it's Tell, the one coming over to the fans and trying to gauge where they're at and tell them, look, we need to be together. Was there anything in the away end, like, from the other players? Was there any kind of
Solanke gave a shirt to someone.
Apart from that, was there just nothing? Because we saw what Vicario and Madison made gestures towards the away end out in Alkmaar. Was there anything like that? No, nothing.
No. They came over and clapped us, but
and that was it.
That was it, yeah.
Number 3 is costly Solanke.
Yeah, and obviously Solanke has gotten a lot of praise this season, and rightly so, for the lot of work he does and how different our team does look when he's on the pitch. And I'm not trying to take away from that, but obviously he missed 2 gilt-edged balls. He missed 3 chances in the end yesterday, but two really gilt-edged chances, especially the one which, had pretty much a whole goal to aim at. Obviously, it was a bit of a volley and he had to react quickly, so it wasn't the easiest chance, but still, he has to be burying that with a striker of his ability. And I think it raises a question about his goal scoring and his finishing, because obviously I know he's been injured for 2 months, but he's got 7 goals this season, but that's from 9.3 XG, and he's missed 10 big chances. And I know if you look at the top of the big chances missed stat, it's usually the top strikers because they get more chances. But the fact of the matter is, he has only got 7 goals, and he actually hasn't taken that many shots. He's only had 22 shots on target this whole season, 52 shots in all. And when it comes to per 90 stats, he's fairly low. So that means when he gets those big chances, he's got to put them away. He's got to be a lot more clinical. And yesterday, it definitely cost us. And there's a few games now that those big chances he's missed has cost us points and results. And I think the fact that he's underperforming his XG by quite a significant amount now, 2.3, which is, in XG terms, that is a significant underperformance. That does raise a question about, he has to improve his finishing, really.
Yeah, he's missed 10 big chances this season.
That's what I say, yeah.
Solanke. Yeah, it's not good enough. But, I love Solanke and I love his work rate and I love what he gives to the team. But I 100% agree with you. He needs to be getting better in front of goal. He needs to be that killer in front of goal, because when we signed him in the summer, 19 goals last season in the Bournemouth shirt. And we're thinking, all right, we're getting this killer in front of goal that can, not replicate what Kane did, but at least get multiple figures in terms of 15 plus goals for us in this season. It's not looking that way at the moment.
No. Look, he's a kind of striker who could go through a bit of a purple patch and got a few goals, but at the moment, he's just missing too many chances.
Number 4 is Bissouma's disaster class.
Yeah, and Bissouma obviously got hooked off at half-time after an absolute shambles of performance. And I think the stats really show it in terms of how poor he was. 2 out of 6 ground duels won. No, didn't win any aerial duels. Won 2 duels and losing 5. Only 1 recovery in that whole half he made. Only 1 recovery in terms of winning the ball back. No interceptions. He'd lost his only tackle he attempted. He only made 3 defensive actions during the whole that first half. Considering he was playing a bit further forward as well, only 2 passes into the final third. Nowhere near good enough. He only attempted 1 dribble, which was unsuccessful. He didn't create any chances. Obviously, he did complete 18 of his 22 passes, but most of them were backwards or sideways. When you're someone like Bissouma and you're not competing for those duels, you're not winning those duels, you're not passing forward, you're not carrying the ball forward, what are you doing? You're not doing anything. And that was why he was rightly hooked off at half-time, wasn't getting involved in the game. And it was just a shambles, really, from him.
Yeah, and those stats that you just mentioned literally do tell the story of his game. Eye tests, stats tests, whatever you want to say. Bissouma is putting disaster class after disaster class at the moment. And I've been a heavy critic of Bissouma for some time now. And, people have told me, oh, but yeah, he's a really good fit for the system and blah, 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 blah. But his performance level and his confidence level and every level possible is going down and down and down and down. And I said in the last summer, I want to see him sold. And now I demand to see him sold this summer. He has to be sold.
Yeah, I think he's on his way out, and I think it's clear. I think he seems like a player who's checked out at the moment. And, I think sometimes when players know they're on their way out, you can see this kind of thing happen.
And last but not least, number 5 is Killer Blow.
Yeah, and again with Spurs, happened yesterday, and it's happened especially in the last few games, but has happened quite a lot over the season. Just when it looks like you're getting a foothold in the game, just like it seems when you're getting control of the game, we concede a goal, and especially just after we miss a chance, we concede a goal, and it's happened so often, especially in the last few games. You think about just Thursday on against RZ, we're just getting control of the game, we get a second goal, and bam, we concede from a silly mistake. The Bournemouth game, both goals we conceded were after 2 chances we created for ourselves, and just in our best moments of the game we conceded. When you think about the Villa game, I know we went 1-0 down early, but second half, just get our foothold in the game in the FA Cup. It looks like we're back in the game and we concede a goal in our best moment of the game. And it happened yesterday. Best moment in the game, we just creating a few chances. Madison's just come on. It looks like we're the ones with the ascendancy, and we go and concede a goal. And that is something that has been costing us, and it really kills our momentum whenever it happens as well. And it seems, I don't know if it's a mentality thing. I don't know. I can't put my finger on why that specific thing keeps happening, but it definitely seems to be a trend that we're in our best moment of the game. We seem to be just getting control of the game, and we concede a sloppy goal in it, and all of a sudden we lose momentum. And yeah, was there more evidence of that yesterday happening?
Yeah, and it's like Tottenham. They always bring you into a false sense of security, don't they? Because start the game poorly, we're looking like we're second best. Finally drag ourselves in it, and we're looking, all right, Spurs can do something today. And in that moment, when you fully get back on side, when you fully start
just when you start believe, exactly,
they take it all away from you. And that is Tottenham Hotspur in a nutshell. And, you know, it's not even just this Tottenham team. It's just Tottenham over the history of time. As soon as you start to believe, that's when they take it all away from you.
As soon as that thought into your head, so maybe we could win. Yeah. That's it. And then all of a sudden they hit you. They hit you. Don't ever believe that with Tottenham. How dare you? And that's it.
This is Tottenham Hotspur. But that is our 5 takeaways. Those are the 5 things we did learn from the game. Next up,